October, beginning of November of 2020. And then the rest of the city started growing with it. And all these people started coming, and it just blew up. So it's been interesting to see, because prior to Kill Tony becoming such a global phenomenon, Austin was, I would argue, from 2021 to 2023, the best city to be in the country for comedy, because there were 40 shows a week. There were people that only cared about, it was a meritocracy. It was just who's funniest is doing the most shows. People were trying to do the most shows in a night. People were talking about comedy in the green rooms. Everybody was friendly with everyone. It was fucking awesome. And then between Mothership and Kill Tony, it created just kind of a us versus them mentality, and it really separated the scene. And since then, what's happened is,
with the scene within Austin,
within Austin,
us versus them is like OG Austin comics and people that are a little
that
bit...
was already like the strata that was there. There was this old Austin group that was like the Cap City Velveeta Room, fucking Moon Tower people from before times, and then there was the new crowd that had cropped in that were all moving, and then there was the newest crowd that was like the Kill Tony and Mothership people, and then so those were all kind of fluid before it really started to explode and people started to get like famous, and then they started to kind of put up barriers.
Finally, we have someone speaking out. And it's not even in a negative light, right? What is being said is what it is. I've been here since, for the last 2 years, what is 26? So I got here in 24. 21 to 23, it was, I'm sure it was a free-for-all. I remember coming to visit and seeing some of the comedians in the scene and still see where they are now. There are more people producing shows. There's more people with a little bit more clout. But that core group that came in at the early 2020, 21, 22, that they are now in positions in which a lot of comics want to be in, whether it be working at the Mothership or some that ended up getting out and started working on the road, all from this city as a launching point. But there is this feeling of those that work at the Mothership and those that work at Sunset and those that work at the Creek that separates the scene. You have a bunch of open micers, which helps thrive those businesses as well. And it's ever changing. Like every time I go down there each Monday, it's new people. New comics coming in by the thousands. And people leaving and people moving. But there is definitely barriers. It's definitely cliquish. It's definitely us versus them. And it's not every single person, for sure. There are some people that are still trying to crack that door open for the next person. And those people I absolutely respect. Like when somebody comes into town, I'm glad they take care of them. Because that's your people. That's who you came up with. Those are your friends. Those are your comrades. They were in the foxhole with you. So, of course, look out for them. But there is something different that I feel in Austin that I don't feel in San Antonio. Now, it started off like that, of course, because they're always going to have territorial tendencies. You're also going to have cliques pretty much in every scene. But it just seemed like the opportunities to prove, not even to prove, just opportunities of being funny will get you opportunities. I'm glad that he said he would go to Houston or he would go to San Antonio and get up, because that's what I'm doing now. I'm putting my focus on Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, instead of Austin. I did my due diligence. I bust my ass for the entire year before I was like, yo, I got to start working. I can't sit around and fuck around with this bullshit, hoping that I get picked for a mic or hoping I get picked up as a regular or hoping I get passed or where are the priorities? where are the priorities? And my priority was get a stable job, focus on building a relationship with different comedians and different producers, but not kissing anybody's ass. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should have done that from the beginning and kept my mouth shut, but that wouldn't just be me. It wouldn't be me if I sat there and didn't say anything. So, looking back at it, I'm proud of the I'm proud of the role that I paved for myself. I'm getting it out the mud by myself. Do I still want to be affiliated? I don't even know that answer anymore. I honestly don't even know that answer anymore. But what I do know is that momentum is building. As long as I continue to get online, post every single day, figure out how to edit these videos to make them pop. These are my goals for the next year. And then once this takes off, we'll go and we'll get a studio and we'll put more money into the equipment. But that's neither here nor there. I moved to Austin with hopes of becoming something great in that fashion or in that way. And it didn't happen, but I didn't leave. I didn't let that discourage me. I said there's different ways to get where you want to be. And I chose, if I'm getting up over here and I'm getting love and people are coming out to see me and they're buying tickets, I got to go where that is. This will come once they hear the information that's going on over here. So shout out to your boy, Mike Eden. I've seen him, met him a couple of times. He's a fucking funny dude, humble dude. And I'm glad that he said the things that everybody's wanting to say, but they're afraid to say because they don't want to not get work. Stop letting that shit bother y'all. Stop letting that shit, let mind fuck you to think that they have the power to stop your career. You gotta just keep going, my guy, my gal. I hear a lot of comedians saying that they're gonna slow down or they're gonna stop or take a break. That's how you not become a comedian. So hopefully you don't take a break for too long because it's very hard to get back on the horse after you was barely hanging on. What y'all think about Austin? Y'all think that the things that Mike is saying is true? Do you think that they put up barriers? Do you think that it's an us versus them type of situation? Or do you think it's just you can't let everybody in, right? The He-Man Women's Haters Club, you can only add a certain amount of people. If it's everybody, then it's not exclusive, right? But you tell me what you think in the comments. Look, I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.
Until we meet again.